Good morning, everyone. As you already know, you have another work period today to continue working on your survey project. Okay, so hopefully the Chromebooks from room 326 are already in the room, and your group has at least a couple of Chromebooks there, so you can work together on this. Okay, so what I'm going to do in this video is review some little tips and tricks that you can use with Google Sheets to create graphs and sort your data a little bit. Okay, so I just made up some data here. I'm going to use this as an example. Okay, just a reminder, like once this is done playing for everybody, the link to this video is on the website. So if you need to go back and watch the steps again, right, just on a device, okay, just have a look at it. You can watch what it is. Okay, so the first thing, and after talking with one group yesterday, I found something to make your life a lot easier here. So the first thing I'm going to show you how to do is to lock your title row in place, okay? So that these don't move if I want to sort everything else, okay? So all you have to do, okay, is if you click on the number 1 here to highlight that row, okay, then you're going to go up to View and Freeze, okay? And then it's just the one row, so we see one row. Okay, and I see this little gray line that appears as wasn't here before. But now, when I grab, right, the scroll bar here, the title stay there, but the data moves, okay? So this will be helpful when I go to sort my data later, okay? Although actually, let's just do that now to show how that works, okay? So right now, it's all jumbled up, right? My grades are all over the place, right? Gender is going back and forth here. So what if I wanted to sort them? What if I wanted to sort them by grade or sort them by male, female, etc., or by quality of sleep, by last row? Okay, in Google Sheets, this is actually pretty easy to do. Okay, all you have to do is pick the column you want. So say I want to sort it by grade. Okay, and there's a little arrow right here. Okay, when you highlight it, so if you click on that arrow, okay, and go down, you want this first one. It says sort sheet A to Z. So that kind of means from lowest to highest alphabetically or numerically. So if I click that, now they're in order, right? Grade 9s, grade 10s, grade 11s, grade 12s. Okay. So if instead I want to sort by gender, right, I can do the same thing. I can sort by gender. See, now it's messed up the grade, but right, I'm sorted by gender now. If you want to do multiple levels of sorting, what you can do is highlight, say, the 2 rows. This is where it gets a little more complicated. You have to go up to Data, okay, and you have to go down to where it says Sort Range. Okay, we'll say, yep, this has a header. Okay, sort by grade. So it's going to sort by grade first. I'm going to add another column, and then by gender. Sort. Okay, so now, right within here, I have my grade 9s, and they also go in order of gender, female, male, male, right? My grade 10s, female, and then male, and so on. Okay, so that's how you can sort things. Okay, the reason this is an advantage is because then potentially you can do breakdowns by grade or by gender or some other criteria when you're making your graphs. Okay, so now I'm just going to review how to make some different types of graphs. Okay, the key one is the scatter plot. Okay, so the 2 things you're going to compare in your scatter plot, right? In this one, for me, it's going to be sleep and your average. Okay, again, you just have to highlight the rows you want. Okay, you click on this little symbol, looks like a bar graph. This is insert chart. Okay, it will automatically pick what it thinks it wants to use, but I don't want to use a bar graph. I want a scatter plot. So I'm going to go into chart type, and it's got scatter plot right here. So I'm going to pick that one instead. Okay, and there's my scatter plot. In order to add a line of best fit, okay, and look at the coefficient of determination, okay, I'm going to click on Customize up here. And where it says Series, I'm going to click on that arrow. Okay, and there's things you can play with in here, right? You could change the color of your graph if you want, okay, that sort of thing. Okay, But you scroll down a little bit more here, there's this option that says trend line. So I click on trend line. Okay, and you can see now I have a line of best fit that went into my graph. Okay. Then scroll down a bit where it says label. Okay. You can select use equation, and it will put the equation of the line of best fit. Okay. And last but not least, click on the one that says show R squared, and it will show me my R squared. Okay, so I have my trend line, I have my correlation, right? Or sorry, my determination, which is 0.084, which is really low, right? Only 8% confidence in predictions. So that means that this relationship is not strong at all. It does not correlate well. Okay. And if yours turns out that way when you do your scatter plot, that's okay. It doesn't mean you did it wrong. It just means that you didn't find a correlation between your variables. Okay. So again, that's the big one, the scatter plot. Okay, what are some other kinds of graphs that you can make? Okay, well, one kind of graph you could make is just some summary information. Okay, so let's say I want to show, how the breakdown was for gender in my survey. So I'm going to click on that column, and we'll go back to insert chart. Okay, and this one made a pretty nice one here. It says count of gender, female, male. Okay, so I can see right away that in my population, okay, I had slightly more females than males, okay, in my survey. Okay, so this is just showing me some background data, right? I have a very small sample here. You have a much larger sample, so some of this background stuff might be interesting to look at. I think I heard somebody comment yesterday that they noticed their classes had a lot more females than males, okay, or could have gone the other way, but yeah, you can check this kind of stuff out in the spreadsheet. Okay, same thing. I could do something same for grade if I wanted to. Right? I could do my grade column, and I could say I want to see a chart. Okay, now this did not really give me a useful chart here. So let's see if I can find. Yeah, there we go. I don't want that one. Oh, it doesn't like this one probably because it's grade. Huh. Okay, so I think I figured out the issue here is because it's numbers, it doesn't want to do the count. So I take histogram, and it's not perfect. I have to tweak it a little bit here, but it's kind of counting what's going on, right? Grade 9s, 10s, 11s, and 12s ended up over here. Okay, but yeah, so you can play a little bit, you can do stuff like that. Okay. Another thing that you might want to try doing, all right, is maybe you wonder if the results are different, right, depending on, say, your grade or gender or something, or maybe quality of sleep. So I'm going to resort my chart by quality of sleep. Okay, so now let's look at the people who said they got either a good sleep or an excellent sleep, and I'll just make a graph of those. So I'm going to use the mouse to highlight excellent. Okay, and I'm also going to get the ones that were good. So I'm going to go down here and hold the control key on the keyboard. Okay, so I've selected those two sets of data. And now let's try making a chart. Okay, again, I gave me the wrong type, so I'll do scatter. Okay, there's my new. So this is the average versus average sleep only for people who reported they had a good or excellent sleep. Okay, and I can do similar things for grade or gender or right whatever category you are looking at in your thing. You can sort and then try to see if you can make graphs of that, right? And see if there's any difference, right? Is it different for male and female? Is it different depending how old you are? Okay, you can see if the graphs look any different under different conditions. Okay, so in your assignment, you only really need to have, I think it calls for at least 4 graphs. Okay, so you definitely have to have the scatter plot and at least 1 or 2 with some background information, so know what your population is like. And after that, Okay, sky's the limit. You can have fun kind of playing with and analyzing your data and seeing what you get. Okay. So my hope is, and I know that some of you finished your data entry yesterday, but if you're not quite finished, finish that first. And then hopefully by the end of class, you can have all these graphs finished. Okay. Last thing I'll mention, right, please make sure that you share your graph when you are done. Let's just share your spreadsheet with me, so then I can have a quick look at it. And tomorrow, hopefully we'll get to do some sharing about what you found with your surveys, right? So thanks for watching. Okay, good luck with your project, work hard, and I will see you tomorrow.